Hey everybody, Dark Skeleton here, and today we have one card to look at for Whispers of the Old Gods, Call of the Wild, which is an interesting take on Animal Companion. Animal Companion, every hunter should remember. 3 mana, summon a random Animal Companion, which is either Misha, the 4/4 Taunt Bear, Huffer, the 4/2 Charging Boar, or Leokk, the 2/4 Raid Leader, give all your other minions +1 attack. Now with Call of the Wild, 8 mana, you get all 3 simultaneously and guaranteed, which, if you factor in Leokk's +1 damage buff, is going to give you a 5/2 charging Huffer, a 5/4 taunt Misha, and the 2/4 Leokk that buffs your other minions. Now, also note that Leokk can buff minions that were already on the field before you played Call of the Wild, so it has the potential to get a little bit more power than that. But effectively, if you add together the stats of these 3 animal companions, you're getting 12/10 of stats for an 8 mana spell. Now, the fact it's a spell also means there's a few weird interactions, like Joust. It takes 1 card out of the Joust, out of the deck, and makes it a Joust card. Other weird interactions, in wild mode at least, Lothab would still destroy this because, well, you can't play it at all, and if you were planning on that being your minions, it's going to kind of struggle a bit. But just looking at it from a pure standpoint of just saying it's like playing 3 minions with 1 card, it's kind of hard to say that it's super good because normally when you have those high cost minions or high cost cards, you want lots of powerful effects rather than just stats. In terms of stats, a 12/10 split into 3 minions is actually pretty good for 8 mana. Usually you'd be looking at about an 8/8 that might have taunt, like the Ironbark Protector, or for instance a 7 mana Ancient of War, a 5/10, kind of comparable. Let's see though, other advantages to playing Call of the Wild. The 5 attack boar can immediately go and trade into something. It can also immediately go face. You could actually get lethal off of this. It's 5 damage to the face, and maybe you're playing it on turn 10 where you also hero power and that's 7 damage. Using the 5 damage Huffer, it's like a fireball effectively, is actually kind of a cool idea. I think in many cases. Like a 3.5 mana fireball to a minion that isn't protected by taunt, that's not too bad. And the fact that Misha can protect you as well is pretty good. Best played, of course, when you already have a field, because then Leokk is going to get extra benefits there, and the total value of this card could add up to 13 attack, 14 attack. It's consistent in what it does, so you're not really playing any RNG games. Is it good enough to be played? It's hard to argue that, because basically any high cost hunter card, anything beyond a Savannah High main, is hard to argue for. Control hunters, as much as I thought I could make it a thing, didn't really become a thing when you use Sir Finley McGurgleton to change a hero power. Giving up the hunter's hero power means you give up all pressure, and the hunter class cards, kind of like Rogue, are just not meant there for ridiculous value in the late game, like Light Bomb or Brawl. So to really justify an 8 mana card in a hunter deck is pretty difficult currently. It's not terrible if you have something that can synergize with spells. You can get a little bit more extra value with the fact that Call of the Wild is a spell. I guess it's pretty good with Summoning Stone, I guess. Not a terrible card. Pretty good in Arena, honestly. I would definitely draft it in Arena, but for Constructed, I think most times I would probably just take something like Ragnaros, or maybe even King Crush over it, arguably, or Sylvanas Windrunner, or Emperor Tharzan. I think there are just so many cards that are better in the late game than just, ooh, I summon 3 minions that add up to a good amount of stats and one has charge. I don't think that quite cuts it. But not a bad card. Interesting idea. Definitely has some potential to be a little bit better if you have a lot of minions on the field. Just way too slow for most hunter decks, and I think that's the main problem with it. So for today, that's going to be it. I've been Dark Skeleton. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next card review.